But we do have a SCADA system where we can view our tank sites and pump stations, and we can operate through that, some automatic, some manual. So basically,
so it's not just monitoring; it's controls.
It's controls as well. That's correct.
Hey guys, it's Jeff here with ProfitDig. Here tonight with my partner Jeff Gibbons and Scott Miller with the Water Authority of Dickson, our special guest tonight. He's here to talk with us, and Jeff's got some questions for him. But we'd just like to welcome y'all to the ProfitDig live show. And if you don't mind, when you get a chance, please like our videos and subscribe and send us any comments or questions you may have.
Yeah, and I noticed you guys are wearing some pretty identical swag on top of your heads there. Not the same exact hats, but you guys are representing the Miller Cattle Farm. I guess that's a side business for you?
I don't know if it's a side business. It's a place for me to dump my money.
he works a regular job on your farm.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I actually inherited a farm. My grandfather bought in 1949. I got about 90 acres, and I keep running some cows on there.
90 acres.
So, yeah.
Man needs some land, you know?
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it's just a hobby.
Okay.
It's that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like to make money at it, but
yeah,
I like to spend money too.
It's not enough for your job. I got you.
Yeah, no, I couldn't make a living at it.
I guess 90 acres wouldn't be enough to live on.
No.
You need a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
Well, anyways, we just did a video, and several of the things you said made me think of different questions. And like one thing, like even outside of the video, you mentioned SCADA system. Mm-hmm. So, you know, Scott works for the Dickson Water Authority here in Dickson, Tennessee. And, you know, as an engineer, I've seen several SCADA systems.
I'm sure.
Like, you know, do you guys have like a control room, or you just have like guys using their computers logging into the SCADA systems?
Yeah.
What is a SCADA system, mate?
Yeah,
for people who might not know.
For the most part. So basically, the SCADA system is, I'll just go back to how we do it. So each one of our treatment facilities has operating software, and it operates the plant. That is not tied to any internet. That way, no hackers can get in there and do anything with it. So
called the air gap network.
There you go. You're the guy. Yep. So, but we do have a SCADA system where we can view our tank sites and pump stations, and we can operate through that, some automatic, some manual. So basically,
it's not just monitoring; it's controls.
It's controls as well. That's correct. So basically, the SCADA system, and I can't think of what the acronym stands for now.
I couldn't tell you what the acronym is either.
But basically, we can set at our plant, or I can set at my house on my laptop. And anybody at the Water Authority's got access to it. You can look on a computer screen. You can see every tank. You can see every pump station. You can see whether the pump's running, whether the pump's off. You can see the level of the tank. You can see how much flow's coming out of the plant. I mean, it's got everything on it.
So you got like, do you start like your main page for your SCADA system is like a topographical map or like an area map, and you drill down, or you just have?
No, I mean, we've got it. If you click on that tank site, it'll show you where it's at.
Okay.
It's got that GIS technology with it, but normally our computer screen's just got. There's different pages, like the water page, for instance. It just shows you tanks and you pump stations, and we've got them laid out, you know, in the areas that you know, the White Bluff system, the Dickson system, the Burn system. We've got them in sections, but you got a main page that's got everything on there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now, do you guys use any other control software, or is it just the SCADA system?
Yeah. Each plant has controls. Each plant has their own controlling system, and we use a lot of Allen Bradley.
Allen Brown,
PLCs and things, yeah. But
that's good products.
Yeah.
Rockwell software, Allen Bradley.
Yep. Yeah. But our telemetry, our SCADA, same thing. It's called High Tide.
High Tide, okay.
And they're out of Nashville.
That seems like a water focused SCADA, like just based on the name.
I mean, that's how they done it. They started out being a satellite telemetry and they worked off the satellites, and it wasn't hardly as reliable as they wanted it to be. The satellites you would lose connection, and they went to more of a cell based.
And I guess like just even tree and cloud covers, like satellites are easily disrupted.
Yeah, and the cell based. I mean, there's just this little short antenna at the site. It's not very tall. They can use Verizon or AT&T. They have contracts with either one.
Okay.
We pay a certain fee a month. It's different with the controls, and if you're just viewing, it's cheaper. It's different things. But we pay a monthly fee to
If
be
viewing is like less data.
That's right.
Consumed.
Yep. It updates it like every 6 minutes.
Now, what about like on your meters, your service meters and stuff? Do y'all use like MXUs on those, or? No, I mean, I know you said earlier, y'all had different types of systems, like some you drive by.
Yeah. So the regular, what I call residential commercial, just the meters for usage that we bill off of, it's a Badger meter, and their system is called Beacon, and it's either the AMRs, the drive-bys, or the AMIs, the ones that work off of sale. They run off that software, and then some of the other zone meters that we have, we've got some of those tied onto our high tide telemetry, but we've got another system on a few of them that we're trying out right now, and I can't think of the name of it. But they're all cell based.
Yeah, kind of a weird question maybe, but I was wondering, like, anytime the fire department gets deployed and they got to hook up to a fire hydrant, is that a noticeable spike in the consumption of water?
It depends on where you're at. I mean, if you're right here in town, they're good about letting us know if they've got a big fire. If you're right here in town, you're not going to notice it. But if you get out in the rural part of our county, I mean, we can
like deplete the.
Yeah, they can pull a negative pressure on our system, and we'll start getting phone calls, people without water and things.
Okay, yeah, but they're good about letting you know.
Most of the time they do. Yeah. I mean, we have. Your fire hydrants are color coded for what they'll flow, and if the fire hydrant's red, if the top's red, it's less than 500.
See, I didn't know there was a color coding too.
Yeah, so if it's red, it's less than 500. If it's orange, it's from 500 to 999. If it's green, it's above 1,000.
Is that when you're putting new lines in, you have to account for that capacity?
Yeah, so we have to, anytime we put in a new water main, we have to have an engineer put a set of plans together. They design it, run calculations, and we have to send it into to the state of Tennessee, the TDEC, and they approve our calculations and all. So if it's not a system that'll flow 500 gallons a minute, is what they say is fire protection. You can hook a pumper truck up to that. So if it won't flow 500 gallons per minute, they don't like for us to put the full blown fire hydrant
because that potential negative.
That's right.
So have you ever? Oh, go ahead, Jeff.
On y'all's color code, y'all use NFPA. Yeah,
it's fire protection.
National Fire Protection Association.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I like. For me, acronyms I like to make sure that we try to spell those out. You know, it's like because you get into the flow of things, and I know the company I work for, we use acronyms all the time. And it's like if you're not aware of those acronyms, like they're speaking different language.
Well, in like with the work stuff I do, the majority of the people do use like NFPA standards, for color coding, but you will have certain municipalities that have their own color coding, and just for their in-house stuff, and it really gets confusing, because we have to go in and flow our hydrants as we put them in, and then we have to go back and paint the bonnets to match the flow rating on those hydrants. So it can be, like I said, the majority goes off NFPA, so we automatically go in, we just start painting based off them, then they'll come back and say, well, we've got our own system, these are our colors for our flow data.
We don't use the blue, which is greater than 1,500 gallons a minute. We don't use the blue normally, but the green is usually
1,500 gallons a minute. That's a lot.
And you got to be able to flow that with a 20 psi residual, so the downstream hydrant can't drop below 20 psi.
Now, where would you have something like that, like a blue cat?
In town, close to the plant. Yeah.
And if it was like a bigger city, is there something above that?
Yeah, not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Yeah, it's
Once you get above that, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, you're going to be covered. So
you're covered.
Yeah, most of your areas like that are in town, close to your treatment facilities, where you've got, in your distribution system around your plant and in towns where all those, you've got your bigger mains. You're starting out with your larger size pipes, and as you go out into the system, they'll drop off smaller. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you get out in the rural areas. I mean, there's a lot of areas with. I mean, it's got 2-inch line going down, this certain road, and I mean, you don't have any. I mean, there's no fire protection there. It's just mainly for the potable water to get people city water. What everybody calls.
And that's where they use the water from the truck at that point, right?
That's correct.
And like a lot of times, like in your rural areas, it's really hard to get a accurate flow data on those lines. Based off what we do, a 2-hydrant test will give you the most accurate flow data you can have. And that's, a couple of hydrants on the same system that's within 500,000 feet of each other. When you get in your rural areas, your hydrants may be a half a mile to a mile apart.
That's right.
So it's really hard to get an accurate flow data, to exactly.
You want to test 2 hydrants in series
But at the same time.
at the same time.
Yeah.
You want flow one, take your residual pressure off the other.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'm familiar with the NFPA 70E because that's the electrical portion of the NFPA.
Right.
But I don't know how big NFPA is.
You got several books.
Yeah.
All right. Well, interesting as always, Scott. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Check us out at ProfitDig.com if you're looking for the world's best and most affordable bidding and costing solution.
Get easiest to use.
And easiest to use. And by the way, it makes you sexier.
Yeah.
Like,
If you say so.
And let's make sure everybody knows we got our cameraman Chris work behind the scenes right
Yeah.
yeah, he's back there hiding. Jerry Work is not with us today. He's a little under the weather. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great rest of the evening.
See y'all next time.